Welcome back to the morning brief. I missed out on the conversation with the hair. Well, I will ask my question some other time, but hey, we're switching gears now to something quite exciting, which is why I'm laughing. You saw that video clip by the young man they called Temitok Shomoye. He's known popularly as Honey Tongue. I hope I said that correctly, Honey Tongue. Okay, so he's joining us right here in our Lagos studio. Mr. Honey Tongue, thank you so much for coming on the program.
It's my privilege.
Well, I'm sure that you would like to introduce yourself properly. I just mentioned your surname and your stage name, so maybe you'd like to tell us who you are to the wider audience of Nigeria.
Okay, so basically I'm a comedian, stand-up comedian, primarily, then branching out to many things. I sing, I have live band, like a real live band. I mean, a real life band. You know, so and also I have a live band. I sing, I act, I do skits. I do everything within what I know how to do. Basically, entertainment. Basically, and I write for some people too. Codedly, I write scripts. I write adverts. I write. You know, I'm an entertainer basically.
So to describe you just want to be maybe a creative person, an entertainer, and all of that.
Yes, this term creative, everything is creative. You know, person, like you did earlier before I came on stage. You had someone doing hair and all that, grooming stuff. It's creative. So we are all creatives. So I prefer being called an entertainer. So that's who I am. That's what I represent.
My major challenge with this conversation is that you're a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
And here you are seated.
You got that.
Okay, right. Do you think I should consider a career in that?
Not yet, because I'm not being paid for sitting down here. So.
Oh, you are. There's millions of people watching you. And it takes me to the point that I was going to make. When I said that, should I consider a career in that? I think one of the toughest jobs I have seen is that of a comedian.
Yep.
Because you're standing in front of people that you don't know what they're going through. In fact, you're not responsible for what they're going through on the one hand, but then they have diverse experiences, their minds in different places, going through different things, particularly in these times. So what does it take to be a comedian who moves people to laugh? They say, forget your sorrows. What does it mean to be a comedian?
What does it mean to be a comedian? It means, first, you must be natural about it. Must be you, one of the greatest, we're still doing it till date, Dave Chappelle will say, you must be enjoyable. People must enjoy you as a person. It's not necessarily about the jokes, how funny it is. Sometimes you could speak for like 20 minutes and then people are like, I just like that guy. It's not about and then people come up with the thoughts of the fact that you don't know them. But sometimes it's more enjoyable when they don't know you. You could say things they don't have a clue about. You could tell them, you grew up in Canada, and then they don't know you, so they're like, okay, tell us about it. Sometimes if they are the crowd you don't know, for me, it's sweet. I could tend to understand them by my first sentence, first jabs. Are they understanding me as a rich guy, or as a poor guy, or as a cool guy, or as a calm guy, as a nice guy, as a fine guy? You study your crowd. I don't feel it's hard. I just feel that, it's a work, it's born in you. So somehow you tend to understand your crowd by your mannerisms, your speech, your thoughts, and then, every event has their own kind of people. If you have events where there are bankers, you know that you can't do jokes on maybe oil and gas. You have to do something within that purview that they can understand. Jokes, not necessarily talking about bankers and all that, but jokes that they can relate to. They'll be like, oh yeah, now they come out $99, $99 come out for my money every night. What I do now? So that way people are like, oh, they want to hear you, and then you can switch to your jokes. And man, I feel it's not hard. People feel that you don't know their problems, you don't know what they've been through, you don't know whether they would accept you. Yes, that's true. But sometimes when you get on stage and you get that initial acceptance, or, sometimes when you're popular as well, when you're a big name, but by the time you stand on stage, like a all-time greats, my favorite basketball stands on stage. Before he speaks, you already understand that Baba don't establish himself. So I feel it's a job that over time you work your way into it, you get to understand what they are, you get to understand who you are, and then over time it clicks.
Sometimes we take the job of a stand-up comedian for granted, but when you think about it, more more introspectively.
Yeah.
I'd like you to tell us, do you feel a trepidation, particularly for first-timers, when you're about to go up and you're wondering, are they going to laugh? Am I going to come out as dry?
Or is this my joke funny? You're right, Tom. There are sometimes that I've tried jokes at home that it was funny, and then you get on like, Baba. Sometimes, and then sometimes for jobs where your mentor recommended you, you're like, that guy good. Forget, that guy good. So in your mind, you're like, let me just get down. The guy says, come, you're good, forget. And then you're like, hey, God, what will I say to make these people really love you, laugh, and all that? Will this joke really make sense? And sometimes you might want to try your best jokes, and they're like, hey, no, what's this one? And then the jokes you feel that might not really work are the ones that are not working. It depends on the crowd. Sometimes we feel so. And most especially when there are people of maybe high caliber in quotes, where you're like, what can even make these people laugh? You really can't pick it until you get there. So you have different ammunitions, you have different bullets. So we call it jokes, so I can try this. If it doesn't work, I try this. If this one is trying to work like this, let me just stay here all through. Or maybe you just said something about the person's tie, and the person's like, you do know how much it is, just stay there for a while and then win their love and then go back to your materials.
So I'm wondering, because for musicians, they have the luxury of, in fact, if a musician comes on stage to perform and doesn't perform that hit song, people will not be happy.
Yeah.
But a comedian is difficult to perform or do the same jokes you did yesterday, because people expect you to do a lot more different kinds of jokes. So I can imagine the pressure. So telling from what she said, maybe you share with us when you did a joke that didn't work. I did a joke that was like an icebreaker. Can you do that for us?
Yes, I did. Okay, so I have material on same-sex marriage when this same-sex wasn't like an in thing. It was, I think, 2005, 6. So there was a particular man that likes that joke. So the reason why he called me, so when you said musicians have the luxury of, performing their hit songs, comedians too do. There's a particular person who invited you because of a particular joke he heard you say. And so in your mind, like, see, come, if you reach that place, that joke, you must do it though. So in your mind, you're like, since this man likes the joke now.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody would. And so you most times you want to start on that joke so that, you have a big laugh and then you enter.
Okay.
People love God.
I'm sure we have some. I'm sure you have some. They didn't laugh. I'm sure. They didn't laugh.
I read rock bottom. It was crazy. But when I started...
Oh, boy.
Because I didn't understand. I was in Abuja, and it was not a place where such a thing, they laugh about it. It's not... they don't joke about that particular topic. So the man liked it, but they didn't like it. So when I started, in fact, the first sentence first turned them off.
Wow.
Only the man was watching. So in my mind,
was the man laughing?
He was, but he couldn't laugh again because...
You're sort of like a mad person.
He's laughing like,
So how did you handle it?
So I had to, in between the gist, somehow I tweaked it. Like, I had to make them appreciate the fact that I don't like it too. I don't send it to that person. Send me message. I just in my whole hand like that. I bet I won't forget that one. Okay, so I had to enter a different topic entirely. Talking about the fact that there's something I do most times. I'll tell you that I had to do like a crowd control kind of joke where it's a call and response. You just tell them, okay, look at me head to toe. Tell me, if I wasn't giving birth in Nigeria, what country do you think would fit me? So people started Afghanistan, Iraq, So that one I had to get their attention back, but it was really off. When you have a rock silence, as a very calmness, I couldn't hear. If you drop a pin, I can hear. So the man was like, who? I said, now you, in my mind, no, you cause this thing now for just another one. Okay. So it comes up like that.
I think that joke you made, we have it. Let's take a listen to how you performed that particular joke.
Bros, do to the person by your right side and catch fire. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to ask you a very simple question. If you look at me head to toe, don't look at me very, very well. If they did not give birth to me in Nigeria, What country do you think will fit me?
I don't know. So you said they said Afghanistan, right? Why would they say Afghanistan?
What would you say?
What would I say?
What would you say?
I would say we love you here in Nigeria, really.
Apart from Nigeria.
Maybe I'll be the terrible audience. I'll say, no, we die here together. I'm not going anywhere. As they always say. Well, it's just an expression here in Nigeria. It doesn't literally mean we die here.
Okay.
But I heard you say 2005.
Yep.
And it just hit me. That's what, 17, 18 years
Yes.
ago. I'm not going to ask how old you are, but how long have you been into this? How did you get into this? You obviously went to school.
Yep.
You maybe studied. I'll be shocked if you studied medicine. Or
I almost did.
You almost did.
But I ran away from home.
So I'm just curious, your story. I know the story of Love Nigerians is you start off doing something else in school, and then you find your passion, and you pursue it, and you do great at it. So how did you find this? What about your parents? Is this profitable enough for you? I don't know if you could just get personal.
Okay, so I studied agronomy in Lautech, Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, one of the best schools in Nigeria.
I'm glad you said one of the best.
Okay.
Because there's the best, there's the first and the best, and then there's one of the best.
So, so I studied agronomy. Somehow my dad wanted me to be a medical doctor. You know, to him, I'm very caring, loving, you know. So he felt that I would be a very good medical doctor. So for years, writing jam and jam writing me back there, my brother. You did not pass. You know, so it took me like 3-4 years, and then I got admission, and then it was agronomy. And then the good part, or let me say the good part for myself, was that I met a pastor in school who just was staying the next room to mine. And I have an habit of always doing like a review of what happened during the day with my friends. You know, we're like 6, 7. So I just want to tell them what happened in my full class where we were just jam-packed. You know, believe what happened today. Oh God. I wasn't a comedian. I wasn't even intending to be a stand-up comedian, but I just like talking about what happened during the day. And then he was in the other room. He said, according to him, he couldn't read for like some minutes into hours that I was talking. So he had to just leave his room, come into the next room. Like, who is this guy talking almost Mondays to Fridays? He's always talking. And then he came in and said, I said, good morning, sir. He said, please, can I see you? I went outside. He said, okay, I'm a pastor of a church, blah, 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 blah. Can I see you talk and all that? We got talking and he said, try pursue a career in comedy. I said, what's comedy? I never knew what comedy was. I was an indoor person. So I was more of, my dad is a professor, so you can understand my kind of home. My dad is a professor. My mom is a teacher. So you can understand our kind of home, where you read morning till night. You know, you can't come home with 7/10 and be rejoicing. 9/10 and say you try.
They must be proud of you right now.
So it's more of like a 10/10 or nothing. As you are bringing your home, you are checking before you get to, very good, today's sweet, you know. So it went on like that, and he wanted me to be a medical doctor. So for 3 years, I had to leave the house from 100 level to 300 level because I started finding fulfillment doing that comedy stuff. You know, so I started googling about people. That was 2004. The man I told you who is now my pastor, now said, can you get a name? Because Temitope looks like a general name. So I had to start researching. I got out like 100 names. I said, what name do you think will fit me? Look at me. Say, T funny. I'll write it down. What name do you think will fit me? Just guess. You just give me a name. So I started writing out like 50 to 100 names. And then out of the 100 names, I started writing it out into sheets of paper, and then I'll give people, choose one out of the 10 that you feel amongst different people. So this went on for like 6 months.
This is democracy.
So it took you more than 6 months before you got a name?
Yes.
That's like appointing a cabinet.
When I came back 2005 to school, we had a long break. We had strike that time. So I came back by January, February. Then I told the guys, I said, my name will be Oni Tom. They're like, hey, that one go fit you.
But as I'm Oni brought you money, which is where I also want you to speak to, because comedians have personal struggles. People see you make others laugh, and I just wanted to speak to that. Is it profitable really for you?
It is. It is very profitable. If you are good at what you're doing, very profitable. One of the good things about comedy is that some people get so addicted to you that they call you for virtually unreasonable things sometimes. Like, we are opening house, so you go come. You're like, no problem now. Baba, you know the bill now. No, it's very profitable. Because when you are good at what you do, some people are so addicted to you. They love what you do. Before you get there, it might take a while. Honestly speaking, it takes a long while before people start accepting you, loving you. Oh, I have somebody else who does it, but let's just help you. And they feel like when you come on board, they're the ones helping you. They feel like when you show up at their places or at their events, they're also helping you. Yeah, they're helping you, but you also help yourself by promoting one or two things that you do there. You know, understand? So it's very profiting. I do no other job apart from that.
Well, I wish you would tell us exactly how much you make.
The way you're looking at me, I sense you're good.
Speaking of personal struggles, you know, we take it for granted the work of comedians. You know, we believe that they're all happy-go-lucky persons. But, you know, what's the temperament of comedians? And do you have your moments, you know, when you're not happy-go-lucky, you really don't want to tell a joke?
Yeah, sure. Many times. But because of the job at hand, you just have to be happy. You know, there are times when you just feel like, I bet my rest, Terry. But there are times when you feel like going to events and then you're not on your mood at all. In fact, you're not yourself at all. Probably some house rent due, you know, some school fees things. Now that I have 2 boys, you know, you're like, oh my God. And then, but something happens when you just hold the mic. You know, it's as if you've forgotten everything you're going through. The moment you drop the mic, every other thing might come back. But that moment just... So sometimes we tend to hold on because of the job at hand. You tend to hold on because of people depending on you, because of the bills you have to pay. So many things going around. You can't just give up. You can't just say, oh, I'm tired. But sometimes you feel tired. Most of the time, when I'm tired, I tend to, you know, do projects.
All right. There are 2 things you will do. First is just answer this quick question. And maybe before you leave, maybe give us a joke or something. Drop something for the boys.
The joke about the colonel.
So
you said the joke about the colonel.
Because I know that there was a time, it was an issue in the industry, in terms of loyalty. There's this loyalty thing in the comedy industry. Does it affect you? Somebody, oh, I'm loyal to AY. Oh, I'm loyal to Basket. I'm loyal. That loyalty thing used to cause a lot of rivalry even till tomorrow. So what's your view on it? Has it affected you in any way?
Yeah, it has. Personally, or people being loyal to me, or me being loyal to people, which of them?
No, I mean, the big boys. You know, you know that these comedians, they are loyal to AY. I'm giving an example.
No, he said the best. He calls basketball the very best.
So we know where the...
So sometimes we notice that maybe people that are loyal to comedian A may not be on comedian B's stage, and just like that. So has it affected, first, what's your take on it, and has it affected you?
Well, if you help me, I'll be loyal to you. Man, if your craft has helped me, I'll be loyal to you. If whatever it is you're doing has helped me, I'll be loyal to you. If you have not helped me, I can't be loyal to you.
Does that mean So does that mean if you're loyal to A and B calls you to say come and do?
I'll definitely go.
Okay, that's just. So it has not affected you?
Not at all.
Are you loyal to basketball?
Who are you loyal to?
He doesn't even know me personally. He doesn't know me personally. And the person I know who knows him is Senator, who I'm very close to.
Okay. That's a basketball route.
So you understand.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, if I get a job where there's somebody who they have a rift together and they called me personally to come, I go there, do my job.
All right. You are not loyal to a party.
There's no party involved. There's no party involved when he has to walk.
That's anti-party activity.
Well, before he does the joke, we have some of their concerns that we should take. We don't
have any more time. So maybe your joke before.
So
maybe you have to look at the camera to tell the people, by the way, you know, if you will.
Or you can look at it. So tell us.
I
won't tell anybody about it.
Okay, so which of the jokes do you want?
I want the Lieutenant Colonel joke.
Oh, God. Okay,
and tell us what happened to you afterwards.
So, my career, I didn't used to take cognizance of abbreviations. So I could see maybe HON. I never knew it was honorable. You understand? You could see something like REV. I never knew it was reverend. So I didn't used to, I'll just say revs, this, rev, that. So, but there's a particular abbreviation, LT. I never knew it was a lieutenant.
No way.
Ladies and gentlemen, I held it and I said, ladies and gentlemen. And you know when you are using a very good sound, where it's
clean.
Stop it, sir. Stop it. I held it and said, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to make welcome on stage right about now, late Colonel and Mrs. Everywhere went so. in my mind, like, they want to hear it well.
You repeated it.
Stop it! Everywhere, God. I said, late Colonel. I just saw two men walking down. I said, who is these people distracting me now? I just continued. Late Colonel and Mrs. M.I. James. No, that James did not land. I just saw two men just looking me up. The man I was talking about shot in front of me, just eating popcorn. It was the father of the bride that bailed me.
No way.
Oh my God. This day I was talking about, they literally bundled me. The whole all went, nobody was even saying, Effie carry him up.
Every man is doing right now.
Is this fiction or faction?
It actually happened, but it didn't happen. It didn't end up like that.
That's the beauty of comedy.
Okay.
Oh boy, there's a
We've
lot.
laughed a lot.
What a time
But we
this
have to
morning.
thank
That's a good
so
way
much.
to get into a weekend, by the way.
Absolutely.
We'll
Kind
take some
of.
of your messages later, but we'd just like to add that in the future, maybe you add your name and your location so that we can properly identify you, situate you when we're taking your messages.
So, Temi Tokwe,
Yes, boss.
Shomoye.
Shomoye. Yeah.
Honey Tongue, comedian, MC, singer, writer. Thank you for making us laugh. Thank you for making the people out there laugh. We look forward to seeing you on all of the big stages. Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time on the show. I know we have a lot of people asking questions about hair. We're promising that we'll get her to respond to those questions about how to treat alopecia, how to avoid hair loss, how to get your hair to grow back. Apparently, a lot of people are interested in this. So we'll get her to respond to all of those questions. Keep them coming in, but don't forget to put your name and your location. Guys, what a show it's been today.
Yeah.
What a show. What a show it's been.
Again, thank God it's Friday.
It's Friday. So, Bukola, what are you up to?
Quite a lot this weekend.
We still have we still have a chat with him as we wind up, but that's where we wrap it up for today. We wish you a very good weekend ahead. We're back on Monday, so keep the conversation going on social media, #CTV Morning Brief, and on WhatsApp as well. The numbers you see on your screen. I'm Kayode Okikiolu.
Thank you for watching. Join us again same time next week. I am Bukola Koka.
And I'm Jeffrey Uzoma. Have yourself a very beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.